And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win? From King Ghidorah, we have the question of who wins in a fight, Diane from the Seven Deadly Sins versus Big Mom from One Piece. Two giant women who smash and bash and go all around. Let's talk about Diane first, because I know I'm even before I start actively reading One Piece, which I'm currently just finished volume 12. I got to get more I got to find more places with more volumes. I knew about Big Mom. Like, I know about a lot of the stuff that happens later on in the series of One Piece, and so I knew did know I'd used Big Mom before in a fight. She's kind of insane, but Diane, I'm not a Seven Deadly Sins guy. In fact, Seven Deadly Sins kind of holds a similar problem for me, like One Piece does, where I'm not a fan of the animation / drawing style. Of the big three so far, One Piece is still my least favorite and probably will stay my least favorite. And it really comes down to I'm not a huge fan of the cartoony nature of the series as much. I like One Piece. I actually am enjoying One Piece quite a bit, but it is my least favorite of the big three. And at some point, I'll do a video on that. And maybe that will change as I get deeper into the series. I can admit that, but as it stands right now, no. Anyway, Diane, though. Diane is a member of the Seven Deadly Sins, at least I believe she is the sin of... Which one is she the sin of? She is a member of the Giant Clan, thus much including her fellow deadly sins, sacred... Which sin is she supposed to represent? Her sacred treasure is a Warhammer Gideon, which is used in conjunction with her inherent power creation. She's the serpent sin of envy. That's what she is. Okay. But yeah, she is of the Giant Clan, which means I believe she can also grow in stature. She can shrink to her normal form when she wants to, but because she's of the Giant Clan, she is huge. She is massive. She can literally wield over 1 ton Warhammer with ease. And it's in terms of roster, she can, being a part of the Giant Clan means she can perform staggering feats, like clashing with the likes of Meliodas in terms of strength, and even break through barriers, capable of withstanding meteors with a single punch. That level of strength is insane. We're talking basically raw strength-wise. We're talking about, we can compare it, honestly, we have anime characters even in the big three we can talk about to compare it to, because we have meteor feats in both Naruto and Bleach. That means she is equivalent at minimum to someone like Gremmy's large meteor feat. Well, we don't know how big a meteor it can take. We can assume it might be something that big. Or something like Madara's meteor, which no one actually destroyed. They had to use a lot of finagling. But she can literally just crack through barriers that can just stop meteors like that. She can swing a hammer with a weight of over 2,000 pounds, which is basically over a ton. And due to her giant size, this speed is reduced to nil. But when shrunk into human size, her speed increases and is able to dodge rapid arrow shots by foes similar to Growther. She has great endurance, able to withstand several mortal blows, such as being pierced with the shoulder and thigh, and still move fast enough to save citizens from a collapsing building while retaining consciousness. After passing the trial, her connection to Earth increased, where she is able to increase her power further by dancing. According to a character called Meliscula, her strength can be comparable to Droll. Droll himself believed that eventually she'll become a greater ruler. So let me just get Droll here. Because, yeah, some of the feats in Seven Deadly Sins get a little weird. But in like a scaling, so Droll is founder of the Giant Clan, power level. He's also apparently, is he a commandment? Oh, he is a commandment. He's one of the 10 commandments. Interesting. Okay, so abilities. Let's see here. And I think they're talking about just comparing raw strength, not their actual abilities, because she doesn't have the same abilities as him. Incredible condition. Begin fighting. He's capable to endure attacks from Meliodas and Demark. Okay, I don't really have a straight strength feat for him, at least not listed in the wiki, and I'm not going to go bother looking up feats. Right now, she's said to be comparable to him. And again, we have at least a feat where she can break through a barrier that can fend off meteors. Again, mind you, we don't know the size of the meteors they're talking about. At least I don't think we do. But they can still fend that off. Her main ability, though, is something called creation, where she can actually, because of her connection to Earth, she can actually create basically things from manipulate the earth to her will. And one of her main abilities is to create like golems, earth-based golems. Even as a young child, she demonstrated connection to Earth. Able to create 2 golems and trained her life. She has the potential to become the strongest warrior of her entire clan, which is that isn't that nice. And she can increase her connection to Earth, and therefore the amount she can actually do with by doing Droll's dance. She has a combined attack called Trinity Attack High Tension Rush. A triple combined attack in which King attacks the opponent with. Well, okay, now this doesn't work because this is just one-on-one. And then her weapon is Gideon, which is again the 2,200 pound hammer made by the Giants. It also draws out the full capabilities of her creation abilities. So she is exceptionally powerful, But not gonna lie, she kind of doesn't stack up to Big Mom. Why doesn't she stack up? Well, let me put it this way. We do have, you might think, well, she's clearly got at least a strength advantage over Big Mom. Not really. Even if she does have a somewhat strength advantage over Big Mom, Big Mom, first off, Big Mom is huge. Like, absolutely just insane in size. She is also literally mortally wounding giants in her world at the age of 5. She randomly, I think when she was a child, killed a bear she was trying to scold with a smack. She is literally capable of raising towns on her own. She is, even someone like Kaido, who turns into a freaking dragon, is known to be like the unkillable beast and all that, respects her strength. Even if you have to argue on raw strength alone, she's not as strong as Diane at full capacity. We've seen One Piece characters actually do strength feats that rival, if not surpass, lifting that hammer. One Piece has some weird shit in there, man. Speed-wise, she's deceptively fast. She also can just take a huge amount of damage. But I'm going to tell you right now the reason this fight doesn't go in Diane's favor. It all comes down to her devil fruit. Her diva fruit. Her devil fruit. I believe it's the Suranomi or the soul fruit. So because she's got both the durability, because she can take a huge amount of damage and keep going. Because she's got the durability and strength to go toe-to-toe with Diane. Diane might be larger, but Big Mom could easily... And Big Mom can use, I believe, all 3 forms of Haki. Armament, Conqueror, and Perception Haki. She'll push Diane to the point where Diane might get scared. In fact, I almost guarantee you, my Diane is not going to be able to help, maybe on some level afraid of that person. And if that's the case, as long as someone is afraid of her, it's kind of the Pennywise thing, really. As long as someone is afraid of her, her Devil Fruit will activate and work. Her Devil Fruit, by the by, allows her to pull the souls out of people and hold them like a physical object and literally decrease or increase their lifespan at a whim. She can literally take your entire lifespan like that, and it's over. That's like it, and don't even have to go into any of the other nuanced abilities that come with her Devil Fruit after that. That is really it. And because of that, even if you didn't scale Big Mom all the way up to Diane, which is fair, I don't think in raw strength we can actually say if Diane is, or if she's stronger than Diane, because I don't know if we have a meteor busting feat in One Piece. We have it in Bleach and Naruto, or at least a meteor feat in Naruto. No, even not a meteor busting feat. Here you go, baby. Hi. Hello. Puppy came back downstairs. Ooh, you go, Barbara. Where's you go, Barbara? Where's you go, Barbara? Where's you go, Barbara? But what we do have is still insane strength feats, including like lifting a 2,000. Like Garp, if I remember correctly, I did see a clip of Garp throwing a mace the size of a ship and just casually doing that feat. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that mace, if you actually think about it, was like a ball and chain. It was a ball and chain. If you actually think about the literal physics, mass, weight, all that go into a feat like that, yeah, no, that's a stronger feat than her. Now, mind you, he does. In fact, that's actually worse because he's got the damn thing on a chain, And if that chain wasn't strong enough to hold something of that weight, it would snap. And it didn't. So, yeah, Big Mom is most likely physically stronger than Garp. So at the very minimum, she's somewhere in the ballpark. So you factor in someone who is strong enough, durable enough to survive like doing battle with Diane. Not to mention enhancing herself with armament hockey, or trying to impart conqueror hockey on her, or using perception hockey to avoid blows. Diane, at some point in this fight, is going to get scared. And if Diane gets scared, it's over. Big Mom just goes, yummy, I'm just going to take all your beauty and just... yeah, that's pretty much it. So, unfortunately, basically, Diane just doesn't have the type of abilities that would be good matchup to try to take Big Mom on. That's what it ultimately comes down to. But this is also just my opinion. Let me know what you think. I got Big Mom in this fight. Let me know if you feel differently. Thanks for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.